cause we are unstoppable, yeah. Homie, now listen, everyone play their position. Buffalo got a tradition. They say we tripping, they better get out our way. Top of the table, we flipping, we on a mission. Got an unstoppable team, continue to follow your dream by any means. Buffalo, Buffalo, get in the Super Bowl ring. Cause we the Buffalo, 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 Buffalo Bills. Yeah, we the Buffalo, 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 Buffalo Bills. You better know that. Look how we throwing and catching, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. You better know that. Look how we running and hitting, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. Reppin' the Mafia, 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 yeah. Reppin' the Mafia, 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 Mafia Bills. Mafia, yeah. You better know that. Look how we throwing and catching, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. You better know that. Look how we running and hitting, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. Mafia up in your city, time to get gritty. Screaming and yelling, we bugging. Look at the red and blue.
This is an MVP year for Josh Allen. As an MVP voter, I said this last week. Josh Allen, he looks like an MVP. When you vote for MVP, and I can speak for myself, I think I'm one of 50 voters, you look at a couple things. Who's the best team in football? Who's the best player on that team in football? What do they look like as the best player on that team in football? And how much talent is around that best player on that best team in football?
And a good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Coast to Coast. I am your co-host, Beyond 716, and of course, we're always joined by the man, the myth, the legend, Whittle 2K, and want to start out by giving thanks to all our friends here at our Do Champions Network. Please give us a follow at Do Champions on YouTube, all your Instagram and Twitter as well. And also give Whittle and myself a follow as we look to bring you great Buffalo Bills content. And, you know, just thinking about that intro and just the journey we've been on all season, there are a lot of people that did not expect us to be at this point yet again. Fourth year in a row, we're in the divisional playoffs. Third year in a row at home. And here come the Baltimore Ravens. So tonight we're going to review the big win over Denver, 31-7 at Highmark on Sunday. We're going to get ready for the showdown Sunday night, 6:30. Highmark, Cold, Tony Romo, and Whittle shall be there. How are you, Whittle?
Excellent. I'm excellent, man. You know, got to work in the morning, but yeah, man, I'm good, brother. I'm good. Like I'm excited. I'm looking forward to this game. I love how I love how the season has shaped up so far. Um, this team is one of the most fun Buffalo Bills teams I've seen probably since what year was the Sack Exchange team? What was that, 2014?
Yeah, we went 9-7 that year with the
Yeah.
front
That was
four,
that
a
team.
great front four.
Yes, that team was a lot of fun. That team was a lot of fun. This team's a lot of fun. 2020 was a lot of fun as well. Yeah, 2020 was a lot of fun because we were really good and there weren't a ton of expectations on us. It was just like, oh, they made the playoffs last year, so we expect them to improve, and 13 wins and out of nowhere basically.
Yep.
It's kind of similar to now, except for I feel like this Buffalo Bills team is kind of let down the fan base, and I'm trying to use my words cautiously here. I feel like we've let down the fan base. I feel like they've let down the. I feel like they let down some of the supporters, some of the ancillary supporters that are not necessarily Bills fans, but they they mess with us, man, and for years people have picked the Bills. Oh, this is the year the Bills just need to get this, and then we go and get that piece, and then we still don't win, and all these different things. So, I think this is a very, very fun team, very, very easy to root for. You got guys that are great stories like Damar Hamlin, great story. Ray Davis, great story. All of these guys that Matt Milano coming back from 2 major injuries that robbed him of basically 2 years. and the Matt Collins is a complete character, easy to root
Yeah.
for him.
Mhm.
Amari Cooper, great receiver that's kind of just fallen by the wayside because he's played in some really tough situations over the last few years, and here he is, smiling, happy, enjoying himself.
Mhm.
Really, just kind of enjoying the festivities of playing for a winning team. So um, this team is while it is fun to root for, it's also easy to hate on. We deal with that on a regular basis. Um, I've heard all year, we've gone through this all season long. Where before the season started, I mean, the intro video with Acho,
Yep.
is
Yep.
kind of riding with us right now. But the beginning of the year, he said, "Bro, like y'all don't have hope. You don't. Football is
You don't have
about
talent.
having dogs and having
Mhm.
talent. We don't have, and you don't have any talent. Everybody's
Mhm.
gone. Um, everybody's gone. And then what do you know? Um, doesn't matter. Everybody's
It
gone, and the guys that we replaced them with are balling. Throwaway players like Taylor Rapp and
Mhm.
Keon Coleman was supposed to be a bust. And Khalil Shakir is supposed to be a second round, early third round guy, ends up going in the fifth. Short arms,
Mhm.
lack of catch radius. And what is he at 70, like 75% catch percentage
Mhm.
this year? He's at like a 77% for his career, 78%
Mhm.
for his career, something crazy like that. I mean, it's easy to root for this team, man. Spencer Brown,
Yep.
Alec Anderson, unheralded guys. Ryan
Yep.
Van DeMark, undrafted kid out of UConn. Not a powerhouse. UConn's a
Yeah,
basketball
UConn,
school.
yeah, basketball, right? Yep.
Yeah. Same thing with UCLA. I mean, well, UCLA does put football guys out, but it's more known for its basketball than it is its football.
Yes.
And Alec Anderson comes out of there. And I remember watching both of those guys during the draft process and saying, like, those are guys I would love the Bills to take a shot on. Who knew
Mhm.
we end up, getting them as undrafted guys? So,
Yep.
um, yeah, this is a fun team, and the doubt that we've experienced led all the way through the season. Uh, at the beginning of the year, we were told this is the toughest schedule. You guys are gonna be. If you go 3-3 in the first 6 weeks, that's a win. Well, we were 4-2. The back end of your schedule is tough. You got all of these playoff teams. You got the Niners and the Chiefs, Lions. These guys. Blah, 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 blah. And, we lose one game
Yep.
down the stretch by two
Mhm.
points. So
Yep.
the doubt continued into the wild card game. We were on upset alert, and people were talking about I'm taking the Broncos straight up. They're gonna go into Buffalo and shock the world. Bronco fans watching Week 18 in Kansas City. What were they screaming?
We want Buffalo.
We
How
want
did that
Buffalo. Well,
can we get an update?
yeah, still want Buffalo.
Mm,
Maybe you want
no.
Buffalo wings and well, wild card. What is the wild card team? Oh, if you lost in a wild card, so if you didn't make the playoffs, your team goes to you go to Myrtle Beach. You go to
Yeah.
Myrtle Beach. Um, yeah, if your team did make the playoffs, you go to Myrtle Beach. And if you made the playoffs but you lost in the first round, you go to Cancun. Cabo is
Mhm.
reserved for everybody else. Like after this, it's Cabo. Like divisional round and
Okay.
up, it's Cabo. Everybody goes to Cabo.
Step
So
up a
it's
little
levels to
bit. Yeah.
this. There's
Yeah.
levels to this, man. And despite having what is it? I like to remain. I like to be accurate. So let me pull up Spot Rack because I don't want to.
Mhm.
I don't want to be wrong. Now, let's see our 2024 financial situation. So the Buffalo Bills, with a record of 13-4, I mean, easily could have been 14-3. Like, come on.
Yep.
With the third most dead cap money in the entire NFL. Third most. Um, at $75 million. So that when that falls off, I mean that most of that's going to come. I mean, a lot of that's going to get ate up by contracts, but some of that's going to fall off and be available to improve this team. We have 10 draft picks coming up right now before we make any trades or any move around or whatever. This team is going to be better. Like the team that you're seeing right now, it's good. It's only going to get better next year. So I say all that to say, uh, while we heard in the offseason the window was closed, put what they say, put drywall on it, put drywall on the window and spackle it,
Mm-hmm.
it's closed.
Yep.
Nail it shut, it's nailed shut. I mean, it looks wide open to me, man. Looks wide open to me.
It really.
How do you feel about the disrespect and the doubt that this Bills team has dealt with?
You know what? It's kind of funny, right? When we started back in August, right, July, we always talked about what is this team going to be about? The whole is greater than the sum of its parts, right? And you mentioned a lot of those players, right, and how they're all complementing each other, and how this is the best. We probably don't have the most talented roster, maybe at a top end level when you look at the top 10 guys compared 2020, maybe compared to now or 2022. But we have so many players just doing. I mean, Ty Johnson's another guy, right? I mean, look at what he's doing on third down and just that amazing catch he had against Denver. I mean, I think that's our version of the catch. I mean, that is one of the greatest catches I've ever seen. I mean, if you think about what he did to keep himself in bounds, but that's just one example, right, of so many guys that have really just come together for one goal, like the unselfishness. We went into game recaps, right? And you brought up film and you showed a lot of plays where Dawson Knox would do certain things to maybe help another guy get open, or Mac Hollis would do the same, right? You just see the unselfishness of this team and the synergy that they do have, right? And the haters, when they look at our roster, they don't see all the big name stars. We don't have all those. We have, obviously, we have Josh Allen, right? We have Deion Dawkins, who's a great left tackle. But beyond that, we have a lot of excellent pieces that fit, right? Maybe they don't amass the best stats, right? I mean, our wide receiver room, we don't have 90, 100 catch guys. We don't have, I mean, James Cook, we shouldn't forget about James Cook either. He's become a star running back too, right? So, and I think the disrespect is kind of our theme. I mean, look at the showdown coming into this Sunday night. We are underdogs at home. We are 9-0 at home. We are blowing teams out. We had we had the best record this decade in the NFL at home, better than Kansas City. And yet we're underdogs at home in the playoffs with little to no injuries on our roster. I mean, honestly, Whittle, I'm actually excited about that. You think about the Pro Bowl votes, you think about the All Pro votes, the disrespect we got there, right? You think about the disrespect we're getting in this. I think this is fuel, right? You mentioned Khalil Shakir, short arms, not supposed to be a look. Just look at the production that he puts up. He represents what the Buffalo Bills are about to me. He's one of the best examples I can come up with, right? A guy that slipped in the draft, maybe was counted out from a small school, kind of like a Josh Allen a little bit at a much lower level. Look at the way he's producing, right? So I think it just that's the 2024 Bills in a nutshell, and I think it's something that we've seen teams in the past do this, Whittle. Maybe that don't have the best records, or maybe don't have the flashiest stars, but they're the best teams and they put it all together. And that's where the Bills currently are at right now.
Yeah. But it goes for me. It goes a little bit further than that. It goes to the heart of. Um, it goes to the heart, really the heart and soul of this team. And I know we want to say it's Josh Allen, and we want to say it's maybe it's Matt Milano, maybe it's Taron Johnson, and those
Mhm.
are all great examples, but the heart of this team really is Sean McDermott, man. Like
Hmm.
I really got to give credit to Sean McDermott to be able to instill this type of a culture
Hmm.
where the team reflects the city and the city reflects the team. Despite what you may hear on social media about Buffalo, the Buffalo fan base, despite any of that, it's an amazing city. The people are amazing. I'm not even gonna say it's an amazing city. It's an amazing area. The city
Yes.
is cool. The people are great.
Hmm.
Tim Hortons is awesome. The coffee's amazing.
It is
Um,
elite. Yes, it is.
yeah, man. Like it's it's just it's so much. It's so easy to root for this team.
Yep.
So going into this playoffs, we were told a bunch of different things, right? We were told how the Bills defense wasn't that good. I looked at some of the rankings we were where the Bills third down defense was kind of mid, lower end of the league. Uh, yards per rush, all these different things, and those things did worry me going into a playoff game against arguably a top defense. Well, according to some people, the best defense in the league,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And Bo Nix being mobile and Sean Payton being an offensive guru, all of these different things were supposed to uh, cause the Bills to struggle in this game, and we did, and the Bills did struggle for about 2 minutes, and then that was it. That was it. When we got to the red zone, Josh missed the throw to Kincaid, where I mean not to Kincaid to Knox, where he could have walked
Knox.
into the end zone if he wanted to.
Yep.
Another one, Mac Hollins catches the ball like the 2 yard line, or he catches the ball like at the 5 or whatever. Steps over Patrick Surtain, best corner in the NFL, by the way. After he beat him down the field, he steps over him after making the catch. They throw the flag, they back us up,
Yeah.
blase blah. We end up kicking a field goal, whatever. Um, so, 31 unanswered points. Bo Nix held the football a lot because there was nobody really open.
Hmm.
And, it was all about, well, they just need to establish the run this week, and Buffalo can be had. And they had 32 rushing yards between their three running backs.
Hmm.
So well for that. Um, you have any thoughts on the game? And go
Yep.
ahead.
No, no, no. I mean, typical, sometimes we don't always get off to the greatest start on defense. It was a little surprising to see Franklin beat us deep. We don't get beat deep that often, so it's something we're not accustomed to. But it happens. It's 7-0. There was no panic, right? They come down, they get the field goal, right? And then we kind of settled in after that, right? Even after the fake
Right.
punt, right? Which was, another special teams, whatever, another gaff. That's still something I have concerns about going forward, but we'll get into that shortly. But what did the Bills do, right? They stopped them right away. We got the ball back and just all, we controlled the line of scrimmage and it was a very balanced attack. It kind of speaks to what the Bills have been all season, right? It's our great offensive line. I mean, I can't say enough about them, right? Just the job that they do and the job that, as Josh Allen calls him, Jimbo, right? Good old James Cook, right? The quiet guy, right? The one
Yep.
that doesn't say a lot. I love that he's really blossomed into a star. Like I'm just so happy for him. Never complains, just does his job. You know what I mean? It's just wonderful to see. So it was a methodical win against a team with a rookie quarterback, an excellent coach, right? McDermott did a great job. And I'm glad you mentioned McDermott, right, Whittle? And as we pivot into the Baltimore game, my first initial thought is I don't want to hear any crazy talk about McDermott getting fired or anything like that. I do think the one thing that's on the line going into this Baltimore game, especially, is his system of defense in these big spots against these kind of teams in the playoffs. We've had some mixed results, right? We've had some not good results. And I think that's what's really on the line for McDermott this Sunday night. And people could disagree with me. It's not McDermott himself. He's going to come back in 2025. I want him as our coach, right?
Right.
Unless Sean McVay's walking through that door or something crazy, right? And we know that's not happening, right? So you want McDermott here, but I think his style of defense, we've seen against Cincinnati, we've seen a couple times against the Chiefs where it's kind of let us down, unfortunately. And now we have this high-powered Ravens offense coming in. I think that legacy is really on the line coming this Sunday night. He passed with flying colors against Denver, which was good. Good offense, got some good pieces, but Baltimore presents a whole nother level, right? Can Sean McDermott and this defense rise to the occasion?
Let me ask you. I mean, this is kind of, whatever. There was a long embrace on the field between Josh Allen and Courtland Sutton. Are we going to push that agenda?
It's funny when I was watching that, I was like, is Josh making a little pitch to Courtland there saying, hey, maybe if you decide you don't like the Rocky Mountain High of Denver, right? You want to come over here to Western New York? We may have a place for you. So he'd be a great fit. I forget how big he is. Like, he is a big receiver, right? I mean, you imagine him on our offense with Keon Coleman and those. Oh, that would be awesome. I want to welcome Dale into the chat. I love it.
It would most definitely cost us Amari Cooper. I think Sutton might be like a year or two younger than him.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I'm good with the receiver core we have.
Me too.
I want to look at. I do want to talk about the Ravens, but I want to point out a couple of things that I liked from that Denver game. Number one, the third down defense. Outside of that first drive, I thought we did a very good job on third down of making it difficult for the Broncos. Bo Nix really didn't have a ton of places to go. I'll also give credit to. I'm not going to give the Bills defense 100% credit because there were some drop passes from those Broncos receivers, and we talked about that last week about the moment sometimes being a little too big for some people who haven't been there before. I think we might have seen a little bit of that in the game from some of the Bronco receivers. Another point that I wanted to bring up from that game, I thought the Bills short game. I thought the Bills' short coverage defense versus intermediate and deep. Deep, I didn't think was crazy. I think we got hit with that one big play, and then there was like Courtland Sutton got us a couple of times as well. But the short defense I thought was really good. This is the team that wants to throw the ball quickly. They want to get they're playmakers. They want to get the ball in their hands quickly, and they want to get guys like Mims and these running backs in screen situations where they can use their speed and their ability, their ability to make people miss to get upfield. We did a very good job of taking that away. That's something the screen defense has bothered me all year about the Buffalo Bills. So
yes,
I'm very happy that the way they looked, they were pretty good. We had a couple communication boo-boos on defense. Russell Douglas and, him and Taylor Rapp got to get on the same page and stay there. But ultimately, man, what do you want from a wild card game, right? You want to win where, especially at home, you want to put up some points. You want to win. You want to look good doing it. You want to shore up some trouble areas. And I thought we did that. Screen defense, third downs, we were able to get off the field. Tyler Bass was good kicking the football. I thought kick coverage was excellent on our end. I mean, obviously they got the fake punt, but whatever. Yeah, I mean, those are the things that you want to clean up. You also want to show a little bit. Like, you don't want to pull all the cards out, but you want to put a few on the table, right? So the biggest prevailing uh, trouble spot allegedly for this team all year was going to be you don't have guys that can beat man coverage. You don't have guys that can beat man coverage. And for a while, it was true. And then we got Cooper. Shakir's a guy that can beat man coverage. Kincaid is another one that can beat man coverage. And the guy that a lot of people don't like because he spent more time on the injury report than he did on the actual football field. It's Curtis Samuel. Now, I
Mm-hmm.
personally like Curtis Samuel. I mean, maybe it's because he's from Brooklyn. But I
That's
like
a
Curtis
plus.
Samuel. I think he's a solid receiver. I remember when we played the Commanders last year. He was a dog. Like I thought he was the best receiver on the field for them. And when we got him, I was excited. And look at Joe Brady dialing up a play, a man beater on just a layered deep cross route where um, you got guys in a bunch set. Maybe what, I'll pull it up, but I'll talk about it while I
Sure.
pull it. So you got guys in a bunch set, and
Mm-hmm.
and basically what you're doing is you know you're getting man coverage in this
Mm-hmm.
situation, right? So what they're doing is they're utilizing what they know to
Mm-hmm.
to go and get a favorable matchup where it's someplace that Josh can go with the football. And they're also like when you use a bunch set, you want to eliminate like you're using that so you eliminate the press of from the corners.
Mm-hmm.
So hold on, I got it now. Receiving play result touchdown. All right, receiving. Wow, he only has 2 touchdowns all year. Ugh. Come on, buddy. I'm changing the view real quick because I want to. Uh, okay, let me share the screen real quick.
Sure.
Sorry, guys. All
It's
right,
all good.
real quick.
There we
So
go.
bunch set to the top. This is like, and look, this Dan Orlovsky is the first person I heard describe this, and basically just a numbers count. It's a 4x1 where you have 1, 2, 3, 4 receivers on one side, and you have one
Mm-hmm.
on the other side. So it's the four
Mm-hmm.
by one, and it's a bunch. So you can't like these are the corners. This is like he's responsible for him. He's responsible for him. He's responsible for him. He's responsible for him, or however they're gonna work that out. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and you're trying to get free releases for your guys. So Kincaid's down here. I believe this is Ty Johnson. And yeah, let's run it. So I think, yep, there we go. All right, Matt Collins, wide open, bro.
Wow.
But I'm gonna let it go through, and then actually no. So this is what I love about this play. Play it right here. No press underneath this right here, this little area right here.
Mm-hmm.
If he runs him over to take this guy, that's automatically gonna be an illegal contact. Like I know it's within 5 yards, but you cannot knock a receiver down. So
Agree.
they're gonna throw the flag for that. But this is a free release for him, free release for him, free release for Ty. Um, and Kincaid's gonna come over and create more space because he's gonna run basically a pick. Yeah, it was an excellent play design. Brady is in his bag. He's going to run a pick and take this man out, which would give Shakir an opening. But there's a late reaction because you don't know. Like I'm guessing Sertan wasn't sure who he was going to take or who was going to release, or maybe just had his eyes in the backfield way too long and didn't pick up that Samuel was coming across. And this is man coverage, so all of this field here is wide open. This is all wide open. And here we go. He's beat already. Josh has a clean pocket. Everybody's kind of manned up. Kincaid did a terrible job of picking this man here for Shakir.
Yeah.
But I mean, he could probably hit Kincaid for a little, whatever. But this is the read, right? You got the deep safety single high, so it's basically a cover one look, and it's Josh has all of this. Listen, the worst quarterbacks in the NFL should be able to hit this, but Josh is going to take his time, layer it out there, bang.
Yeah.
Good night, guys, because he's fast. Stop, change direction. Goodbye.
Yep, those guys were
terrible
already...
tackle. Terrible tackle. You guys quit. Curtis Samuel cooked y'all. Guess who likes to play man-to-man on third down? The Baltimore Ravens.
Ooh.
So,
do they?
What you didn't see in week 4 was a lot of this. You saw the stuff you saw, and obviously the game we broke down, the Houston Texans game. You saw a lot of short game, let's threaten with the run and then hope we get numbers on the outside, throw a quick screen, and let these guys get out in space and get yards after and get some yak. Well, if you're not running the football effectively, consistently, you can't threaten with that. So we're going to do stuff like this, or we're going to line guys up. We're going to line guys up in a bunch and force you guys to communicate and figure out where the offense is gonna go with the football. We know the offense knows already, but we're just gonna line up in bunches and spread you out and take away your ability to throw extra guys on the line of scrimmage. Because the moment you throw an extra guy on the line of scrimmage, there's gonna be a hot option, which is probably gonna be Ty Johnson out here in the flat, or let's say this guy was to drive in and come off unblocked. Well, that's simple. You come up and you just sit down. You just sit down in this area. There's so many things that they can do to combat what the Ravens want to do on third down. And I'm so looking forward to this matchup. The Ravens. Let me get this. Let me be clear. The Ravens are probably the most dangerous team in the NFL. Maybe not the most dangerous, but they're definitely like top 3 most dangerous of the most dangerous offenses in the league. Derrick Henry has 1,900 yards rushing. Lamar Jackson has 800 yards rushing. He's thrown the ball for over 4,000 yards. He's shown the ability to hit guys. He's shown the ability to hit guys downfield in tight windows. He's made basically every throw all year, and what they do is difficult to defend because the threat of the run, is there. No, not that. Here we go. Okay. So you have the threat of the run. You have obviously the threat of the pass, and you have the threat. You also have the threat of Lamar Jackson taking off and hurting you down the field. So it's a bunch of nonsense you got to deal with when it comes to these guys. Unfortunately, but what you want to do with the Ravens is make them one dimensional. The only way you do that is you take the run away. Is you take away the run. Um, they don't they would rather pass the ball. I mean, they would rather run the football than throw it. Clearly, like that's not even
Yep.
up for discussion, man. Like that's a guarantee. Let me see. I'm trying to find a specific play. Yeah, there we go. There it is. All right. All right. One more time, guys. All right, this is from the wild card matchup. This is where the Ravens can hurt you because they're going to line up with Lamar Jackson in the
Hmm.
shotgun, Derrick Henry in the backfield, and you have basically you got four options here with likely. I think this is Andrews, I
This
believe,
Andrews, yeah.
and Zay Flowers and Bateman or
Was it
whoever this is
Bateman?
down here. But this is where they hurt you because you have to match personnel, and this is why Zay Flowers matters so much. Watch the safeties. We are in too high
Hmm.
because these receivers can take the top off. Period. Like we know that. So we
Yep.
got to protect against the big play. But at the same time, your linebackers your second level can only get so much depth because you have to protect against the possibility that this guy is going to get the ball. Now, this
Hmm.
is the problem. This is the problem. No Flowers, which is good for us, but Bateman as a deep threat is 100% going to pull the safety with him. What does that leave for likely? Because look how this is matched up. These two
Hmm.
safeties are they have halves. He's got this half. He has this half. This is that's the coverage. This is the coverage. He's got Henry, and basically he's got to deal with Lamar as well, right? But this is a one-on-one between Likely and I believe this is their slot corner, Cam Sutton. Believe that's
Yeah.
Sutton.
Okay.
Minka ball watching. Oh, well, Minka sunk down into okay, so they switched this up to a robber look. But this guy is so doggone dangerous. 8 back here is so dangerous that
Hmm.
he's cooked. He is cooked already. He needs help from his friend. But Minka's not going anywhere because the threat of what Lamar Jackson can do is going to hold the safety there. And that's going to let him get wide open. And Lamar's just going to drop it right in the bucket. And how do you defend that? How do you defend it?
Oh, it's hard. It's very difficult.
Extremely difficult, man.
I mean, the one thing I
Trying to
could
find a
say,
play action play.
yeah, I mean, just thinking out loud on that, Whittle, and is we've talked about the importance of Ed Oliver. We've talked about the importance of our D tackles.
Big time.
It's paramount for them to get pressure up the middle of Lamar just to get him off his spot. Even though we know Lamar can run, right? We know what Lamar can do with his legs, just like Josh. But you just have to make him uncomfortable there, get him off his spot. So it also
And
eliminates that threat
and
of him going up the middle as well. So
and the other problem is like if he hands the ball off and you're in
mhm.
if we're in our base defense and he hands the football off, you need your guys up front to make Henry go east west instead of north south. Because once this
Yeah.
guy starts going north, good luck. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Good luck. But again, they're talking down here. Likely's one on one. with I think this is JP Jets. You got Dante Jackson down here. I don't know this guy, 25 or whatever. So these are the safeties. Is that Casey or is that Elliott? I know this is Minka. But once again, how do you deal with this?
I'm sure this is keeping Bobby Babich up later than we realized this week.
Of course.
Yeah,
Look right
it's
here. Henry going to the flat. He's pulling the linebacker. All of this is open as well. Like this is he's going to take the quick profit right here, but he's also got I don't know. I think this might be Tyler Wallace. He's got he's got this wide open. This is right at the sticks. Um, you know, he's going to the safety blanket and Mark Andrews, but this is an easy throw as well. Like we've seen Lamar make this throw. We've seen him make this throw. This entire avenue is wide open.
Mm-hmm.
Great play design. Ty Munkins in his bag. 100%. Who's he covering? Air? Like, what are you doing? He's covering air.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's covering air. But he has to because the possibility that somebody is going to get vertical is there. That's your assignment. And at the same time, eyes in the backfield because this lane is wide open. Lamar could run if he wants. He could pump it here and take off. And this is your responsibility. I come down and fill. It sucks, man. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is going to be super difficult for Bobby Babich and them guys.
Mm-hmm. No question about it. No question about it. I'm going to come back to this comment from Patrick. Yeah, I love the Whittlefield review, so I'm just reiterating that point because I want that back up there yet again because I think it's worthy of it. So, well, Whittle, the one thing I could tell you, this game I call. I mean, there's so many things we could say about this showdown against Baltimore. I mean, this is I call this the DVOA Bowl, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Buffalo Bills are 20.7% offensive DVOA. We're second in the league. Baltimore's number one. They are 35.2% DVA. That is off the charts. Their passing DVOA is 72.1%. We are 46.6%. Baltimore's DVOA, their first overall, first passing, and first rushing, mind you. Their defensive DVOA is 6th. They're 8th against the pass and 4th against the run. Bills are second passing, 5th rushing, and we're 11th defensive DVOA. I think some of those numbers for us are a little skewed, in my opinion, just because of some of the matchups we had late, some of the injuries. But I just wanted to put that first thing out there.
Yeah, I mean this is a matchup of two of the top 4 teams in the NFL. Unquestionably, it's our 2 teams, the Chiefs and the Lions. And then I mean, well,
the Eagles too. I'm putting the Eagles there.
The Eagles are up there, yeah, for sure, for sure. Mm-hmm. I don't think the Eagles are better than the Bills or the Ravens. I don't think they're better than the Bills or the Ravens.
They're pretty.
I don't know if they're better than the Chiefs.
Great games. Those would be all great games to me. But
I know my homeboy here, Eagles fan. My homeboy Ham. Jay, man. I hope y'all take care of business this weekend. But I don't think y'all are better than us. But I want to point out that like that DVOA ranking up for passing. You know, it's not surprising because the Ravens lead the league in separation from their pass catchers. Like their pass catching group creates the most separation. So Lamar is constantly throwing to wide open guys that are running away from the coverage. And here's a big reason why. This is a big reason why. Now, does this look familiar? Because it's similar to what we just watched before, right? But the wrinkle is this. Here's the wrinkle. Think. I'm out of here. That you have to deal with. Now, I mean, Obviously, not a huge gain, right? Not a huge gain at all. But the threat, and they were in cover one, so
Mm-hmm.
they'll run against cover one from a spread set. Like this is
Mm-hmm.
nuts. They'll run from cover one from from the gun, no problem. They
Yep.
don't care. Lamar, I mean Minka just got undressed right there. Good God. So that's why it's tough, man. That's why it's tough because how do you defend this? How do you this is the beauty of what good offensive coordinators do. They give you the same look over and over and over, and they do different things from it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, for the Madden heads out here, the people that play Madden or whatever, you hate playing against the guy who will sit in the same formation and run like 5 plays out of that formation all game. He'll run, trips and he'll run the ball for 4 yards, no huddle. He'll throw a slant route, no huddle. He'll throw an out route to a different receiver, no huddle. Then he'll run match on you, no huddle. And it's like, bro, I'm constantly giving up yards, and this dude is not changing the look at all. There's no giveaway. There's no tip. There's nothing. You can't
Mm-hmm.
you can't determine there's no tell and what's going on. So
Yep.
it's unfortunate, but that's what we got to deal with, man.
What a matchup. It's going to be at Highmark this weekend. I mean, what are
Oh,
there? Yeah, there's so many interesting storylines in this game, right? That we could really spend hours on, right? When you think about the Bills and Ravens going at it, and yeah, I look at this game a little bit like the Detroit Lions game, and what I mean is, I thought one of the biggest keys that game is we got off to a fast start, right? We got ahead.
right.
I feel the Ravens and Bills have one similarity. They love playing from ahead, especially the Ravens, I feel. Right? You get I feel like the Ravens want to come out and they want to blow you away. If you put them in check, if you match them, get up on them 10 points, maybe 13 points, whatever, just stay ahead of them. Then I'm curious to see how they react on the road in a very cold Highmark Stadium on a Sunday night. That's where I feel like we'll have the advantage. We cannot allow this team to get out. We know sometimes under Sean McDermott, we come out a little slow on defense. I can't have that on Sunday night. We cannot have it at all. We have to be ready right from jump. First time they get the ball, we got to stop them, hold them to a field goal, make them punt, something. Maybe, and we got to at least force maybe one turnover, at least.
Right.
Easier, not easy to do against this Raven team that doesn't turn the ball over very much either, especially Lamar this year. So that's going to be one of the biggest factors to me going forward into Sunday night. Another interesting little tidbit, and this was in our group chat. Carl Cheffers is the referee, and he's prone to throw a lot of flags on holding, a lot of total flags, 73 against the home team, 91 against the away team. So there could be some holding penalties. Maybe we could cash in. Maybe Baltimore gets called for holding once or twice. And I know our good friend Dale brought that up in our space, and I thought it was a good point. When we get those opportunities, we have to cash in. Our third down defense has to be strong. Like you talked about this past week against Denver, we have to be on point. If we get Baltimore in a 3rd and 8, 3rd and 11, we got to get them off the field. So we're gonna probably get some of those calls this weekend, and we absolutely have to cash in on a few. And that make all the difference, even if we just do it a couple times, even like we did against Detroit. That was all the difference in that game. That's all we needed.
100%. 100%. This is the last. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. No, what do we have here, Will?
So this is the last. This is the last offensive play I'm gonna show from the Ravens, but this is again. You got guys spread out: Andrews, Bateman, Flowers, likely here, and I think this is Justice Hill. Single high again. So this is probably man coverage. And I just didn't really understand why the Steelers defended these guys the way that they did. But let's watch it play out.
Mm-hmm.
Orbit motion. Yep. Brought him back. Look, bro. What are we doing?
Yeah.
You have numbers here, like hat on hat, hat on hat. Like this guy here,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why he's there. I mean, come up and make a block, but um, you. It's. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why. Why are y'all defending it that way? Why are you just allowing Lamar Jackson to really just carve you up? No assignment. Nobody understands where they're supposed to be. Nobody understands who's taking who. Um, just guys chasing the football or chasing where they think the ball is going. And it ended up hurting them. The Steelers couldn't defend against it because I don't know. It was bad though. Like it was just bad. Bad.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna pull up. I want to pull up something else from one of my favorite draft guys. Well, hold on, play this out. Okay, here we go. While we're waiting, while I'm getting myself together, let's uh let's go through some of the products that we have, shall we?
Sure.
Play this slow video they have
Yeah.
set up for us.
For the best Italian food in Western New York, Elliott Apollo's, call 716-825-3675. The Lardon Construction Group.
Fubo TV, the official streaming service of Do Champions. FanDuel, the official sportsbook of Do Champions.
For all your summertime needs, beauty pools, as well as kayak pools.
CX Chronicles, your total customer solutions focused manager. W.GG, the official energy drink of Do Champions.
Hey, Sons of Erie, our artwork looks better on your walls. Hamburg Brewing, please visit our tap room on Boston State Road, Hamburg, New York. And finally,
Fat Boy Surf Club for all your surfing needs.
All right.
All right, and we are back.
All right, so we are back, and I'm gonna show one more defensive play, and this is one of the. I think this is probably one of the most dangerous players the Ravens have. He's actually a guy I saw in the draft, and I was just like, "Oh, Buffalo, can you please go and get this guy?" And I think this is one of the. This is one of the most dangerous players that they have. This is Big 98 right here. This is Travis Jones. Travis Jones is like 6'7", 350 pounds, 360, somewhere around there. He's just a monster, man. Like just a huge one tech, two gap defensive tackle that really makes things difficult. So out here is a Dafe Owe. Edge rusher, you know about him, right? Right, Brian. Penn State alum. Well, I don't know if he graduated, but he went to Penn State. He was drafted out of Penn
Yep.
State. You got Van Noy, you got Matabike here. Shotgun, they're down 2 scores. You know they're throwing the football. It is imperative the Bills stay ahead in this game, or at least close enough to where they're within one score or one score away. Because you don't want to be in a situation where you have to throw the ball against these guys, because they'll just do stuff like this. So if you watch Jones, if you watch Travis Jones down here, watch what he does to this offensive line. There's two guys.
Wow.
Two. And watch what happens. Nowhere to go. Davie beats his man. The pockets collapse. Russell's trying to step up. He can't because Broderick Jones gets beat like a drum right here. He can't even escape. I mean, even if he did escape, even if he didn't get beat that bad, there's really nowhere to go. I mean, maybe he can leave. He can get out of there, maybe, but they're getting so much interior pressure because he's taking two guys, and this man is one-on-one. Matabike is their best defensive. He's their most talented interior player, the most talented one. Nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. That's what I worry about with this game. Josh is not taking a ton of sacks. He got sacked once last week, but ultimately, do we have an answer for that? This offensive line has been great all year. Van Noy's a dog. I think he had like 12 and a half sacks this year. Always played well all year as well. I think he might be at double-digit sacks. And then you have, huge complementary pieces like Travis Jones and Michael Pierce to go with Justin Matabike on the interior. So it's a handful, man. Like the Ravens on both sides, like it's a handful. Not to mention, I didn't even talk about I didn't even talk about Kyle Hamilton or Marlon Humphrey. Roquan Smith, like they got a ton of dogs, man. So
They sure do. And
So, yeah,
they
they're
really they really took it to us last time. Thank you for that, RJ. I wanted to put that out there as well. And I agree with this too. Whittle, you're teaching me a lot during today more than you realize. So much appreciated, brother. But
of course.
I'm kind of looking at the box score the last time we played them. I mean, they really did take it to us, but we obviously know this is a much different team than Baltimore is going to see come Sunday night. We were sacked 3 times. We were just very sloppy. Most of that game, 3-13 on third down. We got to be better. Those are the big things for me going into this game. There's a lot to be concerned about going into this game, Whittle. I mean, there really, really is. Sometimes this league is about matchups, as we know, right? Is Baltimore – I mean, we've always had our ups and downs with Derrick Henry, even when he was with Tennessee, right? He's such a tough matchup. There have been games he's owned us. There have been games we've shut him down. I mean, it's been almost a feast or famine kind of situation, which is kind of strange with a guy like Derrick Henry. But can we find that middle ground somewhere? Can we hold him to 80 yards, 85, right? Can we keep him in that range? Also, don't allow him to run off an 87-yard touchdown to start a game would be nice, right? Just kind of keep him relatively in check. I mean, we know he's going to eat. We know he's going to probably get a touchdown. We know he's Derrick Henry. He's one of the greatest to ever play this game, right? So, but can we keep him relatively at bay and force Lamar Jackson into throwing the ball more in this environment, which I'm sure he's not going to feel super comfortable with. It's going to be a little chilly on Sunday night. Not that he hasn't played in cold weather before. I just would imagine he would rather not play in 14-degree weather with a -3 wind chill on Sunday night.
I don't even want to be up there. I'm going, but it's going to be cold. I don't want to be out there in that.
You better bundle. Listen, if Buffalo wins, you're going to feel like you're in Cancun on the beach, walking out of Highmark. You're going to be on such a high after that game.
I'm not.
I'm trying to
I'm
help
going to be
you.
cold. I'm going to be cold. I'm be trying to hurry up and get to the car.
Plus, we're
So
gonna go to Tim Hortons and get something nice for him to drink after the game. So there
I
you
may freeze
go.
to that first. No, yeah, a win would be major. By that time, we'll know where the AFC Championship is going to be. We'll know it's
Yep.
going to be either in Kansas City or it's going to be, in the stadium of the winner
Hmm.
of that game of the game between the Bills and the Ravens.
Yep.
Um, do you? What are your? Do you? Who's your key matchups for this game?
Wow.
Offensive and defensive. Like,
Well, from an offensive point of view, I mean, Baltimore has been very good against the run. I feel like the Bills have become a well-balanced machine, right? I need, and it's maybe not so much James Cook, but they also ties into our offensive line, right? We have to run the ball with consistency. That's something that in the first matchup we did not do really at all, if I remember correctly in that game. We didn't run the ball with really much consistency at all. So we need about almost an 80, 90 yard or more game from a James Cook. Maybe I mean, we don't know if Ray Davis is playing, but maybe Ty Johnson sprinkles in about 30 yards. We have to limit the possessions of the Ravens, even by one or two, right? We have to have some long drives. We have to kind of start to try to wear them down a little bit in the second half. So that's my key to me. We know what Josh Allen's going to do, right? There's no indication to me that Josh Allen isn't going to have his moments and he's not going to be there late, but we have to set him up at the end to be at the end of the game so he can come through. So in order to do that, we have to stay two-dimensional on offense, and I believe the offensive line and tied in with James Cook is the key on offense. What's your key on
yeah,
offense, Whittle?
here on offense, staying ahead on down and distance. Like I don't think
Mhm.
that this is a game you can afford to have negative plays. Uh, Penalties need offensive penalties, pre-snap penalties need to be at a minimum, because you don't want to get into a situation where you're looking at 2nd and 20 with their front four. I don't want that.
Yeah.
Like I don't know for certain um that David Edwards and McGovern can hold up against a guy that big,
Yeah.
or a Matabike who's that skilled, right? Like if he gets 1-on-1 with David Edwards, it might be over.com for Josh Allen on that play. So we got to
Could
be
be.
careful with staying negative plays, whether that be tackles
Mhm.
for loss, sacks, or pre-snap penalties that you know, put us in bad spots. Um,
Mhm.
Defensively, I think if we stop the run, I think we win this game. I think if you hold
Yep.
Derrick Henry to less than, I think if you hold Derrick Henry to under 120 yards in this game, you win this game. I
Mhm.
think if you force Lamar Jackson to win this game from the pocket and throwing the ball downfield without Zay Flowers, and how historically good our coverage has been, and how good, Sean McDermott has designed a defense to really frustrate Lamar in years past. You know, you get in a situation where it's Sean McDermott versus Lamar Jackson. I like Sean McDermott in that,
Mhm.
as a defensive mind.
Yep.
Um, while Lamar has improved greatly in his
Yes.
ability to diagnose what's in front of him, make the right decisions, his accuracy is off the charts this year. Ball placement is off the charts this year for him. All of that is great. But Sean McDermott is a defensive mastermind, right? And this is a
Yep.
big game. So, Bobby
It's huge.
Babbage better be cooking early, because if he ain't, Sean McDermott's going to take that headset and say, "Don't worry, young fella, I got it today."
Yep.
Think we'll be all right.
Absolutely.
But
My key is
so
simple. Number 80, number 91. Ed Oliver
Yeah,
to me is the one that's going to set the tone here. Like you said, if he could be disruptive, if he could get up the middle, make Lamar's job a little bit more difficult. Like you said, Baltimore gets great separation. Lamar has great ball placement. I mean, he's playing at a next level. We've seen it, especially under Todd Monken. It's been a real great match for Lamar Jackson, right? But you got to make
yeah,
him uncomfortable. Is Lamar a comfortable being uncomfortable type of quarterback? He's had moments where he hasn't been. So we got to make him. We got to get him in that mode, right? We can't if he sits back there like he did against Pittsburgh and these other games we've seen. We're going home Sunday night. I mean, you and I both know it, right? I mean, this is a great team that's coming in, great organization, well coached, talented all over the field, great quarterback, great running back. I mean, this is so to me, Ed Oliver to me sets the tone for Rousseau. He sets the tone for even, and let's not forget about Von Miller. Von Miller, he may have not even had the sacks with him, but he's been very noticeable the last several games here.
right.
And I
We're getting
feel like if
pressure.
he could
Yeah,
just continue to do that and just get enough, right? Even if he doesn't register a sack, right? Just make Lamar uncomfortable, get him off his spots. I mean, we know he could beat us with his legs, but I'd rather him try to do that than throw 20, 30-yard ropes down the field on perfectly placed, and they're just gashing our
right.
defense. So
Yep.
I'll take my chances on that.
And that's
And the other,
where, and that's where you wanna make sure that you're limiting them
Mhm.
in rushing. You wanna
Yep,
stop them from running the football so
yep,
well. Like you hold Derrick Henry to under 85 yards, and the team is was it 2-4? I think they're two and
hmm
four,
yeah,
and they're
yeah. So that
yeah they're
that
two
really
and
is
four
going to be
when
key.
you do that. Yeah, and
Absolutely.
when Lamar throws the football,
Hmm.
uh, more than 30 times in a game. I'm pulling it up right now. Pulling it
Oh
up
yeah.
right now. Let's see. Okay. 3-5.
Hmm.
3-5 when he has 30 or more attempts. 3-5. And two of those games against the Cincinnati Bengals, who had one of the worst defenses in the league. So, I mean, let's see which one of these wins can you consider like to be kind of credible. Um, yeah,
We
the
got
other
a
one was
Ray.
against Cleveland. Yeah, the
We,
other one was against Cleveland.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
We got a Ravens fan in the house. So
well, what's up, man? Make sure you
thanks for
subscribe,
checking
man.
us out. Yeah, and absolutely.
Subscribe so after we win, you can come back in here and be like, "Yo, man, good game, y'all. Y'all got
Yep.
it. Go beat the Chiefs." But if y'all win, then you come back and say, "Look, man, told y'all Ravens fly."
Yeah. Yep. And
Yeah, like
we'll
they.
give you the credit just the same. So
Nah, I won't. I'm playing. I will. I will.
it all depends how they win
Three,
too, right? That's the other
three,
thing too.
yeah, 3-5 when Lamar throws the ball more than 30 times, right?
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
the wins came against Cleveland in the last week of the season, and the other two against Cincinnati Bengals this year. So
There you go.
take that information and do with it what you will. Um,
Absolutely.
I want the ball in Lamar's hands. Uh, I want Lamar taking shots downfield. I don't want
Yep.
him running the football. I don't want him handing the football off to Derrick Henry and moving the chains like that. I want him sitting in the backfield, in the pocket, being harassed and throwing into tight windows all game long. Because
Yep.
I know the team with the best turnover margin in the NFL this year will take the football away if you do that. So
Yep.
let's make
That's
this
the
about
biggest way
Lamar.
not to
Let's
do it.
let's not make this about anybody else. Let's not make this about Derrick Henry. Let's take Derrick Henry out the game. Not hurt him or anything like that, but
No,
let's
definitely
make
not.
it a net negative to run the football with Derrick Henry. Let's yeah, let's make Lamar beat us with his arm. I guess
Absolutely.
we're at the point now with score prediction. Put your score predictions in the chat. We will read them
Yep.
off.
Yep. Absolutely right. Whittle, we have arrived at that time. Would
Yeah.
you? I could go first. I will give you the grand finale, as well deserved, but I'll make this kind of simple, right? Alluded to it earlier in the show about the legacy. I can't stress to you how important this game is for the Sean McDermott era and this Buffalo Bills team, right? It's the fourth straight year we're at this point. If we lose this game and they lose three straight times at home in the divisional playoff, the narrative for this team in the offseason is going to be something we're not going to like. And probably in some ways we're going to have to deal with, right? We're going to, Cincinnati, Kansas City, and Baltimore Ravens coming in, beating us 3 straight years in our house where we have the best record this decade at home. It's going to be a very, very tough pill to swallow. Doesn't mean we're done. Doesn't mean our window's closed by any stretch. But I'm just saying the importance of this game is massive. And here's why I say that. Let's say we win this week. Okay. Let's say next week we go to Kansas City. And let's say Kansas City just gets us again by 3 points. And Kansas City wins the Super Bowl. You know what they're going to say? Okay, you lost to KC, but you lost to the only team that won 3 straight Super Bowls. That's a little bit different narrative, right? It has a totally different feel. But if you lose this week at home in this scenario against this team, it's going to be I'm not going to say it's a disaster. I just think it's going to be even harder to swallow from last year for me. Again, what are the keys? Stay ahead, right? I want to put Lamar in a tough situation. I've gone back and forth on my prediction for this game, Wendell. I got to be honest with you. I've struggled with my prediction for this game. But I'm going to tell you 2 little things. You mentioned one thing very interestingly early in the show. Tyler Bass made 3 field goals last week. Doesn't seem like much, but I feel a little bit more confident in Bass. And I think Lamar and Henry are going to get theirs. This is a very tough offense to stop, right? But I'm going with Josh Allen at the end of the day. 34-31, Tyler Bass wins this game in a classic game and leads us to the AFC Championship game.
All right.
And
Well,
yeah, we're gonna put up all your scores because we got a couple good ones here, so we're gonna put them up.
yeah. So before we do that, I just wanted to ask you, who's under more pressure this game? Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen?
Josh Allen.
Really?
I believe so, Whittle, only because Lamar does have 2 MVPs. You can say what you want. If Josh does not win this, then he's 1-1 against Lamar, 0-1 against Burrow, and then 0-2 or something in the playoffs against Mahomes. I just think that's going to be a lot for him. I think he's got to win this game, Whittle. I think you have to be 2-0 against Lamar. And listen, it comes with the territory of being a franchise quarterback. This is what it is. You could say it's unfair. You could say, Josh has played great, and he has, but this is just how it is, right? So I that's why I feel the pressure is on Josh Allen, and I want it to be on Josh Allen. You know why? Because I think he wants it too, and I think he knows it, and I see it in his body language. We see it in the cadence he's playing with Whittle. We see the way he's playing. He's taken his game to the next level. Things have slowed down for him, Whittle. There's no question in my mind. We're ready. We can take this. It's going to be very difficult, though, Bills fans. Lock in. This is a great team we're playing on Sunday night. So there's my answer on that.
Okay. I think that I do think that there's a ton of pressure on both quarterbacks here. I think more pressure is on Lamar Jackson. And then here's why. At the end of the day, the Bills were not supposed to be this good this year. We talked about this earlier. $75 million worth of dead cap.
Mm-hmm.
They lost all their captains. All of the talent walked out the door, et cetera, et cetera. Meanwhile, the whole time we're screaming and telling people, hey, guys, we're still a good team. Like, I don't know what you guys are talking about, but our roster still is talented. I think that Josh proved how good he is with where this team is. I think the rest of the roster proved how good they are based on where the team is. Um, but if you're talking about, like, if you're looking at Lamar Jackson has not played well in the playoffs, right? Like, consistently, he had a solid game last week against the Steelers. He looked great last year in the second half against the Falcons. Not the Falcons, the Texans, and then a few
Mhm.
years ago, he looked really good against the Titans. But outside of that, man, you're 3-4 in the playoffs. You know,
Mhm.
six turnovers. Um, I like it. Those things do matter. And what's crazy is there's a stat that says the um, Lamar Jackson hasn't won a playoff game where the defense is giving up more. The team is giving up more than 13 points.
Mhm.
So, I mean, when you look at that, yeah, that's crazy. 300 yards. Come on.
I was waiting for your reaction to that one.
Yeah, I saw it earlier, and I was just like, oh, all right, whatever.
Uh, I had to
Um,
put it up there, but
yeah, I just think I just think that at some point we have to start asking questions like, how much help? Like, what more do you need? Like, you have a Hall of Fame running back next to you. It's made this rushing attack even more lethal, and the passing attack as well has become more lethal. Um, top 7 offensive line and pass blocking and run block. Like how much do you need? How much more? Because I mean, we're running out of stuff to give you now at this point.
Mhm.
Mark Andrews, elite tight end,
Oh, yep.
um, first round dog and Bateman, first round dog and Zay Flowers, Isaiah Likely's a dog, Derrick Henry's back there, like second year of a not named Greg Roman coordinator. The offense looks amazing. You read off the DVA numbers, you read off the points and things like that. Like all of these things
Mhm.
point to Lamar should have a great game against the Buffalo Bills. They should win this game. And if they don't, it's really time to start asking questions. I
Yep.
think it's really time to start asking questions. But yeah, we went through a lot of 34-31, a lot of what else we got? We had a 42-6, which I think is nuts. 31-27,
Yeah.
31-24, 27-24. Um, that's Chris. That's where I'm at.
Yep.
I
Okay.
I, I want this to be. I want this to be a larger score than this. I just don't feel like they're going to take the ball out of there. I feel like they're going to try to control the game through the run. And I think it'll make this closer than what it actually should end up being. Um, so 27-24 does sound like a great score, but I'm gonna up that a little bit, man. I'm gonna say we put 2
Ooh.
extra field goals out there, and it ends up being 33-23. I think
Okay.
I think
I
I
like
think
it.
we end up I think we end up winning this game by 10, 9 or 10 points.
Mhm.
Um, that opening coin toss is crucial. If we win it, I want the football. If it's me, I want the football. I want to go down with the crowd going absolutely bananas at Highmark, score and kick the ball off, and have that team who is second in the league in penalties called against them going up against that crowd, that weather, and Carl Cheffers and his crew, who throws a ton of pre-snap penalties, holding calls. They throw a ton of holding calls. I want all of that. You want to
Yep.
get your big people out there? Fine. Let's get out there. Let's be fast. Let's be quick. Let's be decisive and and rush to the football when they're running the football and force
Mhm.
the yellow laundry on the field and get Baltimore in some long down situations where we can sit back and say, okay, now you've got to make a play, Lamar, and make him make plays over and over. He's a great player. He's a great player.
Yes.
He's going to be able to do it more often than not. But we only need 1 or 2 times for him to not make a play. We only need, a few times for him to fall short and get the ball to 17. And we'll see. My score prediction is 33-24. 33-24. I'm going to go with that. 33-24.
Okay. Yeah.
The home team wins 76% of the time. Which efforts is the ref? Okay, right.
Yeah.
A lot of these things are pointing in our direction, man.
Yep. It's gonna be an unbelievable scene. I mean, Sunday night, you got the 2 MVP favorites going at it, right? You got it's just gonna be great theater, all around. So I just, I think Dale, as we come back to this, and you said about the penalties, Baltimore's going to get called for a couple of them. We have to cash in on those. We're going to get those breaks, and I want to come back to this, okay? And I want to give Claude a little history lesson, okay? 1990. I mean, I'm going back a ways on it. There's many examples, but in 1991, I remember Monday Night Football. The Buffalo Bills were the AFC champions. They got smoked by the Chiefs, 33-6. They had the Nigerian Nightmare, Christian Okoye. Remember that guy? I love that name. It's one of my favorite names.
Yeah, Christian
right?
Okoye,
What a great running back, Barry Word. And they just took it to the Bills. The Bills looked terrible, just like this game right here. But guess what happened when Kansas City came up to what was then called Rich Stadium in the divisional playoffs? Well, I think you can kind of guess what happened. Kansas City got ready to go to Cancun and lost 37-14. Now, I'm not saying the same thing's going to happen, but what I'm telling you right now, Claude, and this is no disrespect to your Ravens, Orchard Park's a lot different than Baltimore. You have crab cakes, we got wings. We're going to be ready for this. That crowd's going to be crazy. It's going to be a little windy. It's going to be very chilly. Lamar from South Florida,
bro.
It's not a South Florida kid's not going to love. I know he plays in Baltimore, but Whittle, you live in Jersey. You even know Jersey cold hits different than Buffalo cold. There is a difference, right? So you know it. You know.
Listen,
right?
I've never been colder. I've never been colder than in anywhere on earth than I have been in Buffalo. Like Buffalo. Yeah. And I've been to Greenland. I've been to Greenland. It's like that.
Greenland?
Like yeah. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever met anybody that's been to Greenland, Whittle. I think you're the first person I've ever met that's
bro, it wasn't listen, it was it wasn't a pleasure trip. I promise you
it's
that.
Not green.
It was a pit
why
stop.
Do they call it green? Yeah, by the way, why do they call it green? Is there green there?
Well, the history is the guy who discovered Greenland and Iceland wanted to keep Iceland for himself, so he named the barren island that was full of ice. He named it Greenland, and then he named the beautiful island Iceland to scare people away. So
interesting. There you go. There's your see. Whittle's not even just dropping game film on you, fellas. He's dropping a little history of Greenland and Iceland. You got to love it. I didn't have that on my bingo card tonight, but here we are.
I remember going, man, and we were sitting there. We were waiting for our plane to refuel before we flew into Germany, and sitting there like, bro, looking outside like we were in the hangar, and open the hangar up and look outside. I'm like, dog, I don't see anything green out here. Nothing. Anyway,
oh man.
Yeah, but I listen about week 4. I say what you want. Like, first play, Derrick Henry gets the football and takes off 87-yard touchdown. That was huge. The crowd was going crazy. You guys were electric. You guys were desperate because you were 1-2 at the time. The Bills were 3-0.
Yeah.
The Bills are 3-0. We're riding after smoking the Miami Dolphins and the Jacksonville Jaguars in back-to-back weeks. So yeah, different, much different. The teams are much, much different. And second half, let's be honest, 21-3. What was it? 21-3?
In
the second, 21-3 coming out of halftime.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No, it was 21-3. 21-3. We get the football. I think we punted in the first. I think we didn't do anything but the first possession. They punted it to the Ravens. Ravens get the ball. We force a punt. Get the football. We go downfield and score. Ravens get the ball back again. We force another punt. Another one. Or maybe that was the fumble. Somewhere around, it was like I think it was a fumble, and then we got the ball back, and then it was another time we got a punt. So, I mean, I could look it up, but we're about to close up anyway. And we get the football. We're moving down the field. Obviously, we figured something out. The offense was working. And Joe Brady, for whatever cotton picking reason, decided, you know what? Right now is the right time to throw a trick play in. And I love the way Kevin Masiri described this. He said that play was either all or nothing, and we got nothing.
It's so
we got
true.
100% nothing on that play.
Nothing.
So
Yep.
right. So I mean, listen, at 21-10, the Bills go down and score there, even if it's just a field goal. It's a one-score game. We're coming off of 2 stops. The Ravens have been notoriously poor in the second half, especially third quarters. It would have been a different animal had we just stayed the course on offense, went down there and got some points. But here we are. And I'm glad you guys love that week 4 win. I'm glad you
Yep.
love it because what I love about losses is for this Buffalo Bills team, coached under Sean McDermott, is that the second meeting with that team that beat us the last time we played them, we win. Outside of 2020, Kansas City beat us twice. They beat us in the regular season where they ran the ball like crazy, and then they beat us in the AFC Championship game. And then the Bengals last year, they beat us in the 2022 divisional round, and then we saw them again in the regular season, and they ended up beating us again. Outside of that, you play us and beat us, you lose the next time we see you. So, you know, take that and do what you will with it. But that's just the way things go. Raven fans, if you think Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson are going to run for 300 yards, you're mistaken. Sean McDermott's not allowing that. But I look forward. I think it's going to be a good game. I think the Bills can get this done. Highmark is going to be rocking. The penalty flags for the Ravens hopefully will be flying. And Matt Milano, Terrell Bernard, and Taron Johnson, who all didn't play week 4, hopefully will be tackling and taking care of business because they didn't get that opportunity in week 4. So, with that being said, Beyond, do you have anything else?
Yeah, I'll say this. I'm going to go on a wild limb here. I think Houston beats the Chiefs on Saturday.
Really?
Yep, I do. I know it's a wild prediction, but I'm going with that front 4. I'm going with Joe Mixon, playoff Joe Mixon. I think Stroud. Casey's got some shakiness on the O-line. They've had it all year. They're not going to figure it out all of a sudden. Whittle, I'm going with the upset of the weekend is going to be in Kansas City. And we will host the AFC Championship game at Highmark Stadium. How do you like that one?
Dale, listen, man. I mean, Dale. Brian.
Dale's been in our chat all night. So, yeah.
If that were to happen, I might need to take Tuesday off as well.
Yeah.
Because the app is going to go crazy. It's
going to go nuts. And I know it's a 5% shot, 10% shot, but I'm going with it. I'm in the mood to get a little bold. So I'm going Houston.
That is a spicy
24,
game.
Kansas City 23. I'm going with a super laser close win for the Houston Texans in Kansas City in Gihas Stadium on Saturday afternoon.
I'm going 23-17 Kansas City. I think Kansas City takes care of business. I think Detroit takes care of business.
Detroit has struggled with quarterbacks that can run. We know, but I agree. I think Washington's had a great year, but I think this is where it ends for them.
Yeah.
On Sunday. I
Yeah,
just don't see Detroit
they
losing at this juncture. They may lose
No.
next week or the Super Bowl, but they're not losing this week. And
No, there's a lot.
And I like the
boy.
Eagles to handle the Rams. I like the Eagles to handle the
Yeah,
Rams.
me too. I want the Rams to get it done, but I think the Eagles get it done. I think the Eagles get it done, and then they go to Detroit and lose.
I want to see Eagles Detroit. I want to see that matchup. I think that would be a very, very interesting matchup. So
Eagles Detroit, Buffalo KC. That's gonna feed families, man. That's gonna be a huge NFL.
Yep.
That's gonna be a huge NFL stint, man. That's gonna be great. But thank you all for tapping in. We almost look at it, 388. We have 388 people watching right now. We appreciate every single one of y'all. I need y'all to all do me a favor, though. Please go over to YouTube. The link is on my page at Whittle2K. You can get over to YouTube or just go to YouTube, enter Coast to Coast. See it right there on the screen, man. Coast to Coast Podcast NJ. Podcast NJ. Make sure you put that in there.
Yep.
It should pop up. You'll see Josh Allen standing there like this.
Yep. I also have a link on mine as well. If anybody, but I hope you're following both of us. But if you're not, just go to mine as well. We would really, really appreciate that, and it means a lot. Thank you, everyone, so much.
So please, if you feel like doing it, you got time, go over to YouTube, like and subscribe, ring the little bell, so you'll know when we post videos. No matter how this game goes, we will continue to provide content every Wednesday, even through the off season. We'll be bringing like draft stuff. We'll be talking about some of the prospects that are coming up. We'll be doing some film breakdown on them as well. We'll talk free agency. We'll talk changes in coaching or whatever it is. Obviously, Joe Brady's a hot candidate right now, as well as some of our front office guys in the job market right now running NFL. So we will be covering a lot even in the off season, but the off season doesn't start until after New Orleans, which we're hoping to get there. We're hoping to get there and represent the AFC and hopefully bring home that first Lombardi. But thank you all again, 392 people. Please go to YouTube, like and subscribe. Help us out, man. Come on.
Quick shout out to the Raven fans. Listen, we're not rooting for you Ravens, but shout out to the Raven fans that joined us here. We appreciate you all coming in and whatever. Not rooting for you, but good luck. Hopefully it's a injury-free game for everyone. That's what we want the most, and we don't want to see any big issues there. So hope for a great game. Hopefully the refs do not have anything to say about it in terms of deciding the game. Best team wins.
No. I want the refs to flag them. I don't want us to get flagged.
Well, you know what? I'll say this too, but one other thing. Where's our lucky Super Bowl run, right? There are certain teams that have had a couple, and you need some luck along the way too. Let's be honest. There've been some moments Kansas City's had it. There've been moments New England's had it in their heyday, and sometimes you need a little bit, right? And maybe it goes our way this time, right, Whittle? Maybe this is the year that the quote football gods, whatever you want to call them, shine on Western New York, and we get that lucky. That I wouldn't even want to say lucky break, but fortunate break or fortunate bounce. And I just think we're in for a classic this weekend. I really, really do. So I'm looking forward to it. I can't even focus at work much this week. It's just I'm so ready for Sunday, Whittle. It's just let's just get right to it. And next week we will be here hopefully to break down and preview our AFC Championship matchup in 2024. So
sorry about that. My daughter called me. She let me know she got into Georgia State. And she's been accepted to another school. Hey, Georgia State. All right. That's another one. With, shout out to my baby girl. who's
Wonderful
18 now.
accomplishment, Whittle.
Yes.
Wow. That's wonderful.
She's racking them up, man. That's 3.
There you
That's 3
go.
acceptance letters, and we haven't even really hit, we haven't really
Wow.
hit that time frame yet. So
Did a great
I
job,
appreciate
Whittle.
y'all. Appreciate y'all. So
Yep.
yeah, again, and so thank y'all if y'all go over, subscribe, whatever. We appreciate everybody in the chat, even the Ravens fans. Thank y'all. Make sure you come back, win, lose, or draw.
hmm
It'd be great if we could build a community of not just Bills fans, just football fans in
hmm
general.
Yep.
We will be talking, like I said, we will be talking draft. If there is a position group or something like that, and you are a different team and you want us to feature it or highlight it, let us know. You can DM us. You can send us a message. You can put in the chat. Whatever. We run spaces on Twitter as well. If you
hmm
follow us, you can see when our spaces pull up. And you can come in and listen. You can come in and talk. You can come in and tell jokes. Talk trash, whatever. Just keep it respectful. And on that note, um, the I'm just going to take 5 minutes to talk about this, and then I hope to put it to bed for good. The exchange between Ravens fans and Buffalo Bills fans over the last 6 weeks has been extremely interesting, and not in a good way. Since the MVP race has heated up, the Buffalo Bills fans and the Ravens fans have gone back and forth at each other, and sometimes it's been funny, sometimes it's been more often than not, it's been toxic, it's been nasty. Um, both sides have had idiots do and tweet and post things that nobody should support. There were some AI photos of Lamar Jackson as a slave and Josh Allen whipping him, or Lamar picking cotton, or Lamar as a monkey. And then there were some AI photos of Josh Allen, sitting down, and Lamar Jackson holding a gun to his head. Um, just a bunch of nonsense, just like a whole bunch of stupid stuff. There's been tweets and posts about all Bills fans being racist, and if you're black and you support the Buffalo Bills, you are. I'm just going to use the words that were used. You're a coon. You're a sellout, et cetera, et cetera. If anybody that you are following, um, is perpetuating this stuff. And then there's other stuff where people are talking about how Baltimore is the worst city in America, and you go there, nothing's safe, you're gonna get robbed and all. That's not true. We went to
hmm
Baltimore. I was there for the game in week 4. It was me, a couple other Bills fans. Some of them were white, some of them were Latino. We were great. It was awesome. The fans were awesome. I sat in the section with some guy, some Latino guy with a mustache. It was cool. It was a cool mustache too. Had like little handlebars at the end, and he was talking so much, like he was talking trash, but it was like passive aggressive trash, so it was even worse, and it hurt because he was getting blown out. But anyway, um, I don't, I don't condone. I personally, as a Black Bills fan, don't condone anything racist
hmm
from people who claim to be Bills fans or are Bills fans. We don't.
Yep.
As I know some Ravens fans, and they're great people.
Yep.
Reached out
hmm
to us when we were down there, like, "Yo, link up. We're gonna meet y'all at this spot, whatever, whatever." Eh, Great. Like my man Trippy Kicker, he is a star. Like if you're a Ravens fan, you know Kicker, you know him.
yeah.
He's Mr. I call him Mr. Viral. Like, that's Mr. Viral because he always
Mhm.
goes viral. And they're great people. Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen were drafted in the same year, 2018, and they
Mhm.
were both viewed as the worst quarterback possibilities out of the guys supposed to go in the first round. And they are
Mhm.
the best quarterbacks from that draft class. They've been the best 2 quarterbacks in the NFL this year. That alone should draw the Buffalo Bills fans and the Ravens fans together. Like Baltimore fans and Buffalo fans should be linked at the arm because of what our quarterbacks went through from the media and from the doubters and all of the smart ball knowers and analysis people who said that these guys were no good and Lamar should change his position and Josh should be a tight end and he's always going to be inaccurate. And I don't know if Lamar can run an NFL offense. No, like we can't. And what we're doing on social media right now is allowing those same people or that same I don't want to put it on the people, but that same entity that wants to separate us right now. This is going to be a great game. Win, lose, or draw, I think the team that wins this game represents the AFC and wins the championship. I hope it's the Bills because I'm a Bills fan. But if it's the Ravens, so be it. I'm going to still get up and go to work and pay my mortgage and, love my children and enjoy football after this game is over, win, lose, or draw. And the same for the Raven fans. So what we can do together is silence the few that are ruining this moment right now that we have.
Yep.
There's always been a stigma against quarterbacks that run. And here we are with two quarterbacks that run that are the best quarterbacks in the league. Let's do each other a favor. If you see something if you're a Baltimore Ravens fan, do me a favor. And you see something racist or not or something like that from somebody claiming to be a Buffalo Bills fan, or they may be a Buffalo Bills fan. You see it, block them immediately. Strangle their attention-seeking behavior. Strangle it. Get them out of there. Block them. And if I see somebody from the Ravens side or from the Bills side that's saying something racist or just nasty, toxic for no reason, like it's not related to football, none of that, they're out of here. I'm done. You're done. I'm blocking you. You're out of here. I'll never see your stuff. You'll never see mine. It's over. It's a wrap. Done. Let's do that. Let's come together as a community. We don't have to love each other and like each other. When we play on Sunday, like we're gonna be at war. 100%. This is a battle of the best.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. But at the end of the game, we should be able to shake hands, grab a beer, or in my case, grab a seltzer water. If you smoke, you smoke. If you drink, you drink. Whatever. We can, we can have cheers with our hot dogs and hamburgers or whatever. Cool. Like I don't know, but we should be able to function together. I got Raven fans from Twitter that we connect with, that we've connected with, that are coming up to the game this weekend. We're gonna link up with them. We're gonna go out. We're gonna take them to get some wings and drinks and chill, and we're gonna have a great time before the game. And we're gonna cheer our teams on. And when the game is over, somebody's gonna win and somebody's gonna lose, and we're gonna move on. So let's do each other a favor and let's magnify the voices that are uplifting these great quarterbacks and these great teams that we have right now. Like this is a moment in time. At some point in the future, both of our teams are going to be terrible, and we're going to hate life. We're going to be hating life for football season. But right now, that's not it. Both our teams are great. Like they're really, really good, and we should be enjoying this. So let's stamp out the nonsense, the garbage that like these are the worst. Like those are the worst of us. Let's get rid of that. Like let's take their voice away. And let's promote our voices. Let's promote the voices of friendly competition, friendly banter, and great football, which is what we'll see on Sunday. So shout out to Ravens flock. Shout out to Lamar Jackson. Shout out to that team. Shout out to the city of Baltimore, man, and all of the great Baltimore fans. Shout out to the mayor. My man came on TV with an afro. Shout out to you, brother. He's great. He's great. I love seeing him on television. I love seeing him. He's great for the city. And shout out to the Bills fans, man. Bills Mafia, y'all know what it is. Shout out to the city of Buffalo, the city of good neighbors. Shout out to all the Bills Mafia, to the guys that come to the game, the guys and girls that come to the game and cheer on the faithful, cheer on faithfully that the Buffalo Bills, no matter what the forecast is, it could be 60 degrees and sunny or windy and 2 degrees, and we are out there. We are out there supporting the team, yelling, losing our voice, supporting our squad. So let's continue that. Let's promote that, and let's strangle out the voices of those who want to tear down this moment in time. All right. So with that being
Well,
said, what's up? What's up?
that's a mic drop. I mean, there's really nothing I can add to that other than you're the only thing I'll say you're right. Unfortunately, those loud, ugly voices sometimes have a way of getting all of us, right? Gets us all angry. Like you said, move on, block, report, and move on. Let's not give them the attention that they want, right? And
Right.
you're right, and it is on both
100%.
sides, and it makes me as upset when it's on our side as it is on the Ravens side. We just have no use for that. But we have so many great fans out there. You mentioned Kika. I love that guy. He's great. Like I love the energy he brings. Like let's talk about the great fans that are out there, right? On both sides. And like I said, we're gonna be ready on Sunday night and we're gonna vent after the game one way or another. We're gonna celebrate, right, in our spaces, or we're gonna vent. But at the end of the day, there's a level of respect that we have for each other, right? It doesn't get personal. So that's the only thing I'll add to it. But Will, that was fantastic, and I echo everything you said.
All right. And real quick, I'm gonna post this up. Barbershop Sports Talk podcast. I'm going live with them tomorrow. We're gonna talk
Nice.
Bills Ravens again.
Hmm.
I'm going to do that tomorrow Thursday. I think at 7:30. If I'm right, I think I'm right. I think it's 7:30 p.m. If I'm not, if I'm wrong, correct me. If not, I think it's 7:30 p.m. Either way, make sure you tap in with those guys. They do great. They do great work. And my man set up for his show, like his basement, chef's kiss. Okay,
Yeah,
it's
he was on our
ravened
show
out.
week 4, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, we had him
and
here.
it
It
and
was a
it's
great
his
show.
show.
Thank you.
Listen, his basement is ravened out. Like if you're a Ravens fan, you'll love it. Make sure you tap in 7:30 p.m. There we go. We got the
Yep.
confirmation, guys.
30.
7:30
Yep.
p.m. Tap in,
Hmm.
Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. We're gonna do it again tomorrow. Thank you all again. No more rambling. We're gonna get out of here because I gotta go to work in the
Yep.
morning. And I
Me
think
too. I gotta
Beyond, you're on the West Coast time, so it don't even count.
7:50. Well, yeah, I got things to do, places to go, people to see. You know how it is,
Yes,
little.
he,
So,
he yes, he's a very important man. Thank you for
well,
spending some
that's the
time with
name
us,
of
brother.
it. All right, go
All
Bills,
right, so
everyone.
we're out of here. We'll do this again next week, folks. Win, lose, or draw, we'll be here, and
Yep.
we'll talk about the game. Hopefully, we'll be previewing Kansas City and Buffalo. If not, we'll be talking off season. But
Or
thank you
Houston
again for
Buffalo.
tapping in.
Okay.
Or Houston, Buffalo. You're right. You're right.
Oh.
You're right.
Go Bills
I'm not
again.
even giving Houston a chance. That's wrong with me because I
Yeah,
picked
I
them
know.
last week.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, thank you guys for tapping in with us. We're gonna shut this down. Thank you to our
Thank you.
sponsors. Thank you to Do Champions, um, to the good people at Do Champions, Student and Matt and the rest of the team. Much love to y'all as well. And we are out of here. Go Bills.
Go
Beat the
Bills.
Ravens. Bills.